for Emmanuel Macron on Sunday, as he was the first president in France to be elected for a second term in 20 years. And that speaks volumes, and making him stand out even more is the fact he founded the party he represents, which is called En Marche, a liberal centrist party who is pro-European. Adding another impressive fact, when he was first elected in 2017, he was the youngest president in France's history at the age of 39. He defeated opponent Marine Le Pen on Sunday, winning 59% of the votes, and get this, it was reported around 28% of France's voting population stayed home, unhappy with either candidate. Still, Macron has vowed to be the president for everyone. Now, over in Shanghai, the lockdown continues, with the government installing green fences in areas where at least one resident has tested positive for COVID. Now, this means that all the people in the building are now restricted from leaving until everyone tests negative. A local official has described the measure as hard quarantine. I mean, I don't know about you, but could you imagine waking up one morning and there's literally a fence blocking you from getting out of your home? Well, we'll keep you posted on this as more information emerges. Now, over in Taiwan, with the war going on in Ukraine, the signals being sent is that the world will not accept a sovereign nation being invaded. They may not fight with boots on the ground, but they will certainly engage in proxy wars. And China is taking notice in relationship to Taiwan, which they see as part of China and have vowed to reunify with force if needed. With the ever-changing climate in foreign affairs, the U.S. government has stated that they will support Taiwan's efforts to build asymmetric defense capabilities meant to deter an attack by mainland China's military, at least Secretary of State Antony Blinken told lawmakers on Tuesday, amid questions from members of both parties about U.S. President Joe Biden's resolve on the issue. Speaking before the Senate Foreign Relations Committee, Blinken said the administration was determined to make sure that Taiwan has necessary means to defend itself against any potential aggression, including unilateral action by China to disrupt the status quo that's in place for decades now. And over in Ukraine, pleas from civilians to stop the bombing and allow them to resume their freedom were heard from the Azovstal steel plant, where soldiers and civilians are still holding up, denying a Russian takeover. U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken and Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin met with President Zelensky to discuss additional military aid. As it currently stands, around 5 million Ukrainians have fled, trying to find safety in other countries, and it's estimated around 7 million people have been displaced so far. Russia this week ceased exports of gas to Poland and Bulgaria for their refusal to pay their contract in rubles. And get this, Ukraine has more tanks on the ground right now than Russia actually does, due to Allied forces providing military aid. Needless to say, not much has changed, the war still rages on, and until an agreement can be reached between Zelensky and Putin, which seems very unlikely at this time, the unfortunate suffering will continue. Stick with us here on The Update on the HYFNTV network for all of your world news updates.
It's election time in Arizona, and looking at the national level, we have the U.S. Senate race up for grabs. We talked about Mark Victor, the Libertarian candidate, and the current office holder, Mark Kelly. Now we're going to bring the Republican candidates, as there are quite a few, so we can check out who's running for the Republican slate this August for the primary to see who's going to go challenge Mark Kelly, Mark Victor, and it could be our first candidate, Mark Brnovich. He's currently serving his second term as the Attorney General of Arizona, and he was elected back in 2015. He also held prior office as Director of Arizona Department of Gaming, and he earned a bachelor's degree right here at Arizona ASU and obtained his law degree at San Diego School of Law. According to his campaign website, Mark Brnovich plans to restore trust by securing the borders and taking on crony capitalism, defending freedom and putting forth our interests first abroad. And also, if you want to learn more about him, you can check his website, and we'll give everyone's website out today at brno4az.com, so brno4az.com. Now let's check out our next candidate. I think has raised equally as much as Mark Brnovich. He's one of the top candidates out there, maybe even more. Last time I checked, I believe his fundraising was higher. He is Jim Layman. According to his website, jimlayman.com, he intends to put America first, secure the borders, and streamline the federal government. As a U.S. Senator, he'll be working in the federal government if he were to be elected. Also, according to his campaign website, he's a veteran who served in the Army as an airborne officer with missions including Germany during the Cold War. Because of this military involvement, he's also been known for prioritizing and hiring military veterans to work in his businesses. He is also a self-described conservative who will also work to level the playing field for American manufacturers and workers. Next up, we have Blake Masters. He grew up right down here in Tucson and attended Stanford University and Stanford Law School. Currently, Masters runs Thiel Capital, which focuses on investing in new technology companies. He runs the Thiel Foundation as well, which is a nonprofit promoting science, innovation, and has a bestseller on the New York Times list. According to his website, masters.com, he will focus on securing the borders, reducing immigration, giving American workers a fighting chance, cracking down on crime, and creating a strong national defense. Masters believes the Bill of Rights is a non-negotiable. In education, he's not for indoctrination. He believes in using and conserving nature and defending nature. So a lot to find on his website, masters.com. The next one up, we have Michael McGuire. He also goes as Mick. So according to his website, electmick.com, he's running because there's too many weak leaders that sit on the sideline and fail to act when they know something needs to be done. So that's his perspective. That's why he jumped in the race. His mission is protecting our values, and McGuire is a major general in the United States Air Force and has dedicated nearly 38 years to serving our country. The issues he wants to focus on, according to his website, are advance American exceptionalism, secure the border, protect life, defend the Second Amendment, and uphold the Constitution. And finally, last but not least, we have Justin Olson. He's been known around the state for quite some time. He's an Arizona native. He has put on his website that he will bring conservative values to the Capitol based off his record. He is currently serving as an Arizona Corporation Commission and was elected in 2017. He also held prior office in the Arizona House of Representatives in District 25. According to his website, he also stated on justinolson.com that he is running for the Senate to decrease the size and scope and reach of the federal government. His focus will be on bringing a voice to fiscally responsible and bringing low taxes and a strong economic policy and growth policy to Arizona and the U.S. as he'll be running for the U.S. Senate. Olson also stated that he wants to fight to secure the borders, and he is a big proponent of right to life and the Second Amendment. So that's a lot of Republican candidates. We don't have time to go into each one of them. All are welcome to come onto the update and be interviewed and tell the folks that are watching and a lot of you first-time voters what they stand for. Arizona does have more Republican registered voters than Democrats, which does help with explain why there's so many Republican candidates running. Also, the biggest party is independents in Arizona, or non-defined. So if you're one of those brand new voters, first-time voters, I know I have folks in my family, my son's first-time voter this year, and he wants to get to know the candidates. If you listened to what I told you, a lot of those candidates seem to believe some of the same tenets of conservatism, secure the border was something they all said. So get to know the candidates, find out who you think would be the best representative, and for them, who they believe could beat the Democrat, Mark Kelly. And Mark Kelly and Mark Victor, as well, is always welcome on the show. We want to make sure we give equal time to everyone so first-time voters can have a voice. Now, that's up for the Arizona national elections with the U.S. Senate. Let's jump into the state election, where we know that there is a lot going on right here in Arizona, from the governorship all the way down to legislature.
All right, we're back here talking about the Corporation Commission office, and we have already talked to you about the Democratic candidates. And just to remind you, we do invite all candidates on here on the update to come and tell us a little bit more about you and get to put yourself out there for the voters to get to know you. So today we're going to talk about the Republican candidates, and first up is Nicholas Myers, who also goes by Nick. According to his site, nickmyers.us, he has interacted with the Arizona Corporation Commission for the past 5 years, working to remedy issues, and is currently a policy advisor to Commissioner Justin Olson. Values he'll bring, according to his site, are transparency and accountability, limited government, low and fair utility rates, and to prevent government abuse. Myers is also running mate with Kevin Thompson, which leads us to the next Republicans candidate, is Kevin Thompson. He is currently on the Mesa City Council representing District 6. According to his site, thompsonforcorpcom.com, he is an Air Force combat veteran and small business owner with specialized knowledge in the energy sector, business development, and government relations. His mission from his site states he will be a true representative of the people and has pushed for policies building quality projects, policies that set the environment for economic development, and 0% utility rate increases, along with pushing back against feel-good policies wasting taxpayer dollars. The final candidate for the Republican Party is Kim Owens. Owens is currently serving as commissioner on the Arizona Power Authority, was elected as a ratepayer advocate on the SRP Council, and was also on the Tolleson Union High School District governing body for 20 years. According to her site, electkimowens.com, her focus will be on putting consumers first by rejecting mandates, subsidies, profit schemes, and by saying no to policies that are more about who makes the profit than those who pay the bill. So we'll see how this race plays out. There are plenty of candidates out there to choose from, so get out there, do your homework, and then tune back in with us as we give you who's up for the next office.
And in other news in Arizona, unfortunately the tunnel fire rages on. Just northeast of Flagstaff, the fire is still uncontained. The fire was first reported on April 17th. Now, I couldn't imagine being in that situation and being asked to leave my home and evacuate, not knowing if possibly our house was going to burn down and all our belongings were going to be burnt. So our hearts and prayers go out to them. I can tell you that the investigation, as of yesterday, is still underway on what the cause is. And US 89 has reopened, so that's a good sign that they're trying to move this fire in the right direction. Another silver lining is some neighborhoods that were evacuated earlier have been able to come back in as the fire has shifted. And other Arizona news, over in West Valley in Glendale, we have talked about the Crystal Lagoons a couple weeks back, and here on the update, we're now finding out there's some more news. There's a new owner who has purchased this project, and it's a massive project, so I can only imagine. The schedule for it to be finished has now been pushed back to 2023. It is now called the VAI Resort, and it is responsible for the project located off the 101 across from the Cardinal Stadium, if you're not familiar. It will still feature Mattel theme park area along with hotels, but now it has 1,000 rooms, not 600, where that was the original plan. It is also going to have some great main features, which is the white sand beaches, water oasis, some really cool hot air balloons for guests to go up in, some beautiful views, and check this out. They're even going to have a wedding chapel. So this could be the new destination for folks other than Vegas, where you can come, get the Arizona weather, get a beach, catch a Cardinals game, get married. What the heck, right? So it's going to be pretty cool to watch. So just understand a new ownership has come over and taken over this project. So it should be moving pretty steadily now. If you drive by on the 101, you'll see it is a massive undertaking, and it looks super fun, and it looks like it's going to be great. So get out there and check that out, and that's all we have for your update on Arizona News.
All right, you know you missed it. That's right, our world famous trivia questions are back. It is that time where you get your chance to win that Dave & Buster's Power Pass, and let's be honest, you know you want one. All you have to do is answer the 3 following questions and then send us an email with your answers at HYFNTV@gmail.com, and make sure you put the update trivia in that subject line. So here we go. First question. How many years are in a score? Is it 20, 40, or 50? One more time. How many years are in a score? Is it 20, 40, or 50? Next, what is the fifth element on the periodic table of elements? Is it beryllium, nitrogen, or boron? One more time, what is the fifth element on the periodic table of elements? Is it beryllium, nitrogen, or boron? And finally, what city is the second largest by population in Australia? Is it Sydney, Melbourne, or Canberra? Again, which city is the second largest by population in Australia? Is it Sydney, Melbourne, or Canberra? Don't forget to send in your answers. Send an email to hyfntv@gmail.com, and then don't forget to put the update trivia in that subject line.
All right, you know what time it is. It is time for the box office update.
Yes.
Every weekend, folks go out and they vote with movie tickets. And that's how I know whether it's worth me spending my money. Because if everyone else is doing it, then it must be good.
Right?
But everybody's like, no, like on the Batman movie, like.
Well, we'll see when they shift.
I just know that when Batman came out on Hulu, I believe, people was like, oh, we're gonna watch it then. So just saying. So people vote with the movie tickets. So I know this weekend's coming up, and we want to know what's going to be hot, what's not. So according to last weekend, let's jump into it. We have a brand new one at the top of the list. It's The Bad Guys, bringing in $24 million on its opening weekend.
Yes, that is super impressive and an awesome one to take the family to. I know I'm excited for that one. Excited to take the kids. Gonna check it out this weekend.
Well, next up in number 2 spot, we have Hedgehog 2, Sonic the Hedgehog 2, staying in second place, grossing $15 million.
Yep.
So they've now paid off Jim Carrey for his acting, and so now they're going to start making a little profit. Good for them. Coming up in the number 3 spot, we have Fantastic Beast, The Secrets of Dumbledore. That is now dropping 2 spots, but still bringing in a very impressive and lucrative $14 million. Next up, coming in at number 4 spot, we have The Northman, also new to theaters this past weekend, and it brought in $12 million. So not a bad debut coming in at number 4.
Yeah, definitely
For
not
the
bad.
first week in theaters,
We'll see how it holds up.
yeah, we'll definitely track that as well. Adding to the new ones in the movies out this weekend is The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. Oh, I do it for Bailey.
Oh my goodness, this guy.
I'm teasing. So, The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent was generated just under $7.2 million.
I'm excited to see this one. I am a huge Nicolas Cage fan. I loved him, years ago when he was super popular, and it's great to see him back again in the theater.
Yeah,
so.
comeback king.
Yeah.
What I like about Nicolas Cage is he will do any movie. So that's kind of why I think some people were like, we'll see how it does. So it was number 5. So dropping down, number 6 is Everything Everywhere All at Once. It was last week, it was number 4. But this week it grossed to 5.4. I mean, this is not modest money. 5.4 million. Coming in at the number 7 spot, we have The Lost City, bringing in almost 4.4 million. It was number 3 last week, so it dropped down 4 spots. But still, 4.4 million. That's a lot of cheddar.
Hopefully it hangs in the top 10. Sandra
And
Bullock
these
did
guys do spend
pretty awesome.
millions and millions in production. So I mean, they're just trying to recoup and break even a lot of the time. So next up at number 8 spot, we have Father Stu, bringing in $3.3 million. Again, not a bad showing. Still in there in the top 10, been there for a couple weeks, is Morbius at number 9, bringing in $2.25 million. And at number 10, we have Ambulance rounding out our list, and that's 1.8 million. That's what they brought in last weekend. Mm-hmm. So it's still bringing in, in the millions. Been around for what, 5 weeks?
Yeah, it's been
5 weeks, I believe.
It's been hanging in there.
So it dropped all the way down to number 10 spot, but still up there. But now we've had 3 months of doing these box office reviews for you guys. And in those 3 months, ever since Spider-Man came out, Spider-Man has been in the top 10.
Yes.
5 or 6 or whatever. This is the first week that Spider-Man has dropped out of the top 10 in earnings. I know it made almost $1 billion.
Right.
I believe our last update was at 804 million. And they're still showing. So it's bringing in a very small, maybe $1 million.
Yeah.
So, but worldwide, great movie. But it is, to be noted, first time off the top 10.
Yes.
And who else is off top 10?
Batman, the Batman.
Didn't last long.
Kind of saw it coming.
Yep, didn't last long. Anyways, so if you want to learn more about what is hot and what's not here in the box office, check us out every week, and you can go on our Roku device and go to HYFNTV and download that Roku channel and watch us and go find the box office review, check it out, see what's hot, what's not, whether you want to go with your friends this weekend or not. Do you want to spend that $60? Because, money doesn't spend as like it used to, things cost more. So if it's dropping, you may want to wait till it comes out. If it's holding on like Spider-Man, I'm glad I saw that in the theater. It was a great Spider-Man. Batman not so much. But anyways, we all want to know, right? So just watch it and see where everybody shakes out. And if you have any comments, make sure you leave them on our social media and tell us what you think about the top 10 movies.
What better way to keep active than by playing sports or getting involved in a class? Well, we've got all the options for you around the valley, so let's start. First up is Spiral Volleyball's Volley Tots. First up is Spiral Volleyball's Volley Tots. This is for ages 5 through 12, which will be split into 2 age groups and cost $100. To register online, visit spiralvolleyball.com. Over in Scottsdale, you can sign your kid up for free semi-private kids martial art classes, plus get a voucher for a free uniform. Visit smacus.com for more info. Now in Surprise, over in the West Valley, the CA Golf Academy is hosting junior golf lessons, camps, and leagues. You can check out their info on their website at cagolfacademy.com to sign up. And something super fun and a great way to stay fit, Conquer Ninja Gilbert and Conquer Ninja Scottsdale are holding ninja obstacle classes, camps, and forming teams. You may have seen American Ninja Warrior on TV, and that's exactly what this is, except for youth. Except for youth. This place even has birthday party packages and could be a field trip destination for schools. So check out their website at conquerninja.com. And rounding out today's segment for youth sports is Score Hoops 3-on-3 basketball tournament. It'll be held May 1st at noon for 3rd and 4th grade divisions, along with 5th and 6th grade. For more info and to register, visit scorehoops3on3.com. Next up here on the update is the Innovation and Technology segment. Let's continue talking about Elon Musk. He has just secured a deal to buy Twitter for $44 billion. Now let's talk about what that means. The board adopted the poison pill measure. However, since Musk proved he obtained official funding for the buyout, the board reconsidered and elected to agree to his offer on Monday. Some feel this could create an arena for hate speech. However, Musk has been transparent about his intentions and even said he'd be open to opening up the algorithm.
Yes, that is very amazing, Tiff, because opening up the algorithm and having transparency, you know if something got popular because it's truly popular, or the black box algorithm that used to be at Twitter that we believe is going to be no more is going to be open for everyone to see. So I will tell you this, it was kind of fun to watch this week, as it's kind of been a whirlwind with this news, all the different celebrity reactions. Rapper Ice Cube, he seemed pretty pleased with the news. He said, I'll quote him, "Free at last. Take off my shadow band, homie." Some stars were more lighthearted approaches, but I will tell you, it is frustrating when you feel like you're being shadow banned. Before Musk's bid was accepted, rapper Ice-T was joking, he said, and this is a quote from Ice-T, "It would kind of be dope if Musk just bought Twitter and just shut it off." I will tell you, that would give us a little toxicity out there. Now, to put a little tongue in cheek out there, knowing the billions of dollars that was spent, Rapper Lil Nas, just to put a little tongue in cheek, says that Musk beat him to the punch. I can't even believe Elon Musk bought Twitter before me, he said. My entire career has been an attempt to raise money to buy it. I'm sure he's being facetious, but
who knows?
Who knows, right? And I'm sure Musk will say, it's still for sale. Kevin Jonas, one of the Jonas brothers, questioned if Musk would finally give Twitter users the option to have the edit tweet. Now, the edit the tweets. Now, if you recall, when he was first starting to do this acquisition and look at it, and he bought the Twitter shares, he asked, would you like to have an edit button? So, also we saw on the TED show where he talked about the edit button and the conundrum around it. 50,000 people retweet it that says, let's say, we love ice cream, and then someone else goes in there and we say, we hate ice cream's evil, but 50,000 people retweeted it. Mm-hmm. One of Musk's one of his solutions he mentioned, I know he was off the cuff speaking, but one of his solutions was, when you edit, you lose your retweets.
Right.
So maybe that's coming. I know he put that poll up when he first acquired the shares and asked. Overwhelmingly people wanted to edit, because it's frustrating when you're moving right along, you're tweeting, and next thing you know, fat thumbs or just autocorrect gets on you. So the Jonas Brothers, I'm with you there. I would like to see that edit as well.
Here on The Update on the HYFNTV network, we like to keep you current with what's going on around the valley, and that includes all the fun. So ladies, if you're looking for a fun weekend, make sure you head on over to the Phoenix Convention Center. There will be over 350 vendors who will have everything from massages, crafting, home decor, jewelry, cosmetics, and much, much more. Sounds like a great time. There will also be shopping, samples, food, entertainment, everything. Plus, there will also be a couple celebrity keynote speakers like comedians Lonnie Love and Caroline Ray. And plus Savannah Chrisley, not sure if you've seen her on TV or not, but she'll be out there. Check it out with the girls and go out there and make a day of it. Also happening, Cinco de Mayo is upon us, and on Sunday in downtown Phoenix from noon to 10 p.m., there will be fun, music, games, giveaways, and tons of stuff to celebrate. Food and drinks, prizes, giveaways, and live music will all be there, and tickets start at just $10. The Freedom Festival will be held in Prescott. If you're looking to get up north and do a little bit more fun things and get out of this heat, it will be from 10 a.m. until 3 p.m. at the A.C. Williams Granite Creek Park. The festival will have lots of live music, a kids zone, food, merchandise, and this one, they're going to have constitutional conservative guest speakers. The purpose for the event is to engage and educate the community on the importance of standing up for our freedoms and liberties as outlined in the Constitution. And remember, you can always find out what's happening right here on The Update.
Constitution, Constitution, the law that's supreme all across the Union. Constitution, Constitution, the founders agreed we would need a solution. It's a great work, the framework of our nation. It's a great work, one of the greatest on paper. Constitution.
Do you know your rights? Well, here on The Update, we have the Constitutional Minute on every show, so we can make sure that you know what your rights are. And if you ever want to check them out, go to our Roku channel and you can look at each episode of our Constitutional Minute. So let's jump into number 7, the 7th Amendment. The 7th Amendment actually says, verbatim, that in suits at common law where the value in controversy shall exceed $20, the right of trial by jury shall be preserved, and no fact tried by a jury shall be otherwise re-examined in any court of the United States than according to the rules of the common law. So just like these other amendments that we've been reading, they are written back years and years ago, back before we were speaking in this 2022 verbiage. So here's what it really means in a simpler form. In a civil case, when it goes to a federal court, you have the right to a trial by jury. Now this was based off of $20. Now this happened on most things like commerce, such as building material, work employment contracts, then they would go ahead and let you have a jury of your peers and not leave it up to one judge to make the decision on what was accurate or was right. Also, the bottom part says that it has to be part of a U.S. court. So it can't be heard again in a federal court that's non-U.S. So you just can't set up your own court and call court. And believe it or not, that was happening back then, where small cities and whatnot would take a federal case that would turn into a federal thing, and they'd say, we don't agree, we're going to have our own trials right here in the city, and we'll do this thing right here. Well, that's not how the system works. So they had to put this into the Constitution via the amendment process to let everyone know that if it's any civil thing, dispute that gets all the way up to the level of the federal court, that the federal court is the end-all be-all when it comes to the federal court system. And that's all for the Constitutional Minute today. Make sure you catch up on our next update where we go over the 8th Amendment.
Say is true, time flies when you are having fun. That's all the time that we have for today. Thank you for joining us here on the update on the HYFNTV network. Until next time, I'm Tiff.
And I'm AB, and you can find more shows and programs like the update on HYFNTV network on your Roku device. Just simply pull it up and type in HYFNTV, and you'll be able to watch all of our shows and segments, from the update to the Varsity Squad to a lot of the streaming programs that are on the network as well, and our cinema. We have some great movies that are some of the classics that you can stream for free. So until next time, we're out of here for the update.
Purchase your tracks today.
AB on the track, yeah.